Over the 6 years Fortnite has been out, we've seen countless creators come and go. But today, we're going to be taking a look at the ones who seem to have mysteriously disappeared without a trace. And in the end, try to find out what happened to them. Our first person on this list has to be Fearless. Over the years, he's become one of the most well-known creators in this game's history. He first started his career all the way back in December of 2013, posting Call of Duty clips. And over the next few years, he would continue to make COD videos, which mainly consisted of him just talking to the viewers while going around and sniping players. But there was one thing that was obvious looking back on these videos, and that was how he had become extremely good at the game throughout his time playing. And these skills would greatly benefit him down the road. Now, up until this point, he was getting pretty consistent views, but most of them wouldn't even break 50,000 until Call of Duty Black Ops 3 was released, the game that would change the trajectory of his career. His first few videos on the game were just sniping montages until he decided to switch things up for the first time. On April 21st of 2017, he would upload a video called Kicked from FaZe, Black Ops 3 sniping and funny moments. This was his first video to go absolutely crazy, and nowadays it has over 12 million views. But most importantly, this was the first time he tried to do a funny moments style of video, which would end up opening his eyes. From this moment on, every single video he uploaded would be funny moments styled. But another reason for these videos blowing up was not only was he very funny, he was also extremely good at the game. And mixing these two together made a recipe for the perfect video. He would continue to make Black Ops 3 content for a few more months, until he would upload a video on the game that would skyrocket him into stardom, Fortnite. On October 25th, 2017, he uploaded his first video on the game, and from then on, it was history. Just like in COD, he became really good at Fortnite, while obviously throwing in those funny moments. And he would get so big to the point where he would get at least 30 million views per video, with his most popular one accumulating over 76 million, which is insane to think about. But eventually, all good things come to an end. Fearless would start uploading less and less, to the point where it would be months in between uploads. And after he posted his video Chapter 2 Oof, he seemed to just disappear. So that leaves us with the question, what exactly happened to Fearless? There were countless rumors that started to go around, from people saying that he had died to the fact that he had become depressed. But none of these were really good answer. However, there was one theory that made the most sense, and Cypher PK would actually be the one to bring it up. In his Why So Many YouTubers Stopped Uploading Fortnite video, he mentioned the fact that due to the addition of the skill-based matchmaking, it was harder to find bad players. So this, with the increased skill level of the average player, made it harder for Fearless to get the clips he wanted for his videos. And when you look back on his old videos, a large part of them was just trolling noobs who didn't know how to play the game. On top of that, the loot pool going into Chapter 2 didn't have as many fun items as before. So not being able to find these new players in order to get good clips just made content almost impossible. In this whole time, we never got an actual statement from him, until a random clip surfaced from a player where he ended up loading up into Fearless's game, and he would have this to say.
Why haven't been posting, Fearless?
Oh, I quit.
Wait, bro?
Yeah.
You quit Fortnite?
Yeah, I quit YouTube, not Fortnite.
Really?
Why?
Yeah,
Why? It was too stressful?
something like that. I didn't quit, I haven't been getting any good footage for a video.
So there it was, Fearless's first statement after silence for over 6 months. And not too long after, that Denver guy found out that Fearless had actually gone live on a secret second channel. And during that stream, he had this to say about everything.
I don't want to get into why I haven't been uploading stuff, but it's personal. It's personal. I mean, a little bit. And more. Another thing is, it just like, it doesn't matter. What matters is I'm gonna upload soon.
After this stream, he would end up uploading one of his final videos, Aimbot 3.0, which was almost an entire year after his last one. But it was just 1 month later, in January of 2021, almost 3 years ago, where he would end up uploading his very last video. And again, throughout the years, many rumors started to spread, but none of these rumors had any evidence to back up their claims. So without any word from Fearless himself, all we could do is speculate. My guess, it was a combination of not being able to get good enough clips and some personal issues in his life that resulted in him leaving YouTube. But who knows what will happen in the future. Hopefully we'll see him return one day. Now, Fearless might return, but the next creator on this list is someone who I think will never come back, and that's Daequan. His career starts all the way back in the OG days of Fortnite. Daequan would create his YouTube channel and start to consistently stream all the way back in November of 2017. But little did he know, he was about to become one of the fastest growing streamers in history. and it would all start by complete accident. Throughout November, he would stream almost every day, playing solo squads trying to drop big kill games. And he was doing just that, already becoming one of the best players in the game without anybody knowing. But that was about to change soon. One day, Daequan started up his stream and he decided to load into a squads game as a solo, like he typically does. But when he got into the game, he realized he accidentally left the lobby on fill. So realizing this, he was about to leave the game, until he saw that he had gotten queued up with one of the biggest Fortnite streamers at the time, Dakota's. And this was the start of everything. After showing off his skill to thousands of viewers in Dakota's stream, they decided to keep playing with each other. And eventually, they would end up getting 28 wins in a row, breaking the record at the time. So after seeing how good Daequan was, Dakota's would end up getting him invited to some of the first invitationals back in the day. On top of that, he would end up creating the double pump strategy that would be used by millions of players down the road. So with all these factors combined, Daequan had now gone from streaming to just a few people in early November to only 2 months later now averaging around 1,000 per stream. And with his extremely funny personality, it just made those streams even better, resulting in him gaining even more viewers over time. And with this crazy growth, in February of 2018, he would join TSM. Now up until this point, nobody really knew about Daequan's past, until August 2018, where he would upload a video titled Daequan, Depression and Sickness. And it was in this video that would help later explain why he disappeared. Throughout the video, he talked about how in the past he had some unknown illness that caused him to barely function.
Like, I got extremely sick. I was sick for 3.5 years, like very, very, very sick. And I was going to the doctors and shit. Like nobody could tell me what the fuck was wrong with me. And it was really bad. And like, it got to the point that I was literally wishing that it could be it could literally be anything so that I could start working towards, you know, being cured and shit.
But the most important part about this video was the fact that he had mentioned that illness never really went away, and sometimes he still feels it. Now he would continue on with the streams, not really mentioning his illness, until May of 2019, he would make a tweet talking about his pain. And after this, we would see him take his first long break from content, not posting or streaming for 2 whole months. But when he did return, it didn't last for long. Because of this break, it caused a decline in viewership, which started to demotivate him. And shortly after coming back, he started taking longer breaks in between streams. However, he did talk about why that was in a video titled Where Have I Been? And in this video, he stated that a lot of his close friends and family members had recently passed away. On top of that, his girlfriend would end up getting extremely sick, causing her to have life-threatening health issues. So with all this piled on top of each other, he would unfortunately but understandably fall back into a depression. Even though things were looking down, Daequan still wanted to push forward. In a tweet longer, he stated how 2019 was not the best year for him, but 2020 was going to be different, and he would be back on top. But that would never happen. He would only end up uploading 2 videos that year and only streaming twice, with his last stream being on March 12th. And it was now where it seemed as though he had disappeared forever. We wouldn't hear anything from him until over 7 months later in November of 2020, where he would end up letting everyone know that he was feeling better. But who knows if that was actually true, since he never came back during this time. After this, the silence would continue with nobody knowing what happened to him. But in 2021, he would finally make that comeback he had been talking about. After well over a year of not posting any videos, he would come out of nowhere announcing that he had just signed with NRG. And with this signing meant him, Hamlinz, and a bunch of their friends were moved into a multi-million-dollar mansion named the Thume House. And in his first stream back, he would end up averaging over 70,000 viewers. But this wouldn't last for long. The goal of this house was obviously for everyone living there to be pumping out as many streams and videos as they could. But once again, that never happened. On the NRG Thume channel, they only ended up posting 10 videos. On top of that, Daequan only went live a few more times. And before anyone knew it, it was 5 months later and the Thume House was no longer. Now Daequan would end up uploading an almost hour-long video detailing things that happened throughout his career and why the Thume House failed. And with the house, it seemed like the main reason for them barely making content was because the internet they had was awful, and no matter how much they tried to fix it, nothing worked. And towards the end of the video, he once again mentioned that he was going to be grinding again, but who would have guessed that never ended up happening. This was his last video uploaded, and his last stream was in February of 2022. It's been almost 2 whole years since then, and we've heard literally nothing. Seems like Daequan may still be battling his mental health and mysterious illness today. And even though many people miss him, he needs to do what's best for himself. So with that being said, I highly doubt we'll ever see a full return from him. Now whenever someone mentions Daequan, most of the time they'll also think of Hamlinz. And what happened to him is also very interesting. But since both of their stories are very similar, we'll go quickly through this one. Before Fortnite, Hamlinz was pretty big in the RuneScape, and that's where his first streams began. So when Fortnite came around, he was already averaging around 100 viewers. And he was making sure to put the time in. He would start grinding Fortnite and eventually would find himself within the top 3 players with the most wins. And from that, he would meet Myth, who was ranked first back then. After starting a friendship, they would start to play with each other more and more, until eventually, Myth got picked up by TSM as their first Fortnite pro. But TSM wanted to have the best Fortnite roster possible, so they came to Myth for any suggestions, and he recommended Hamlinz. And this decision would change his life forever. In February of 2018, he would get signed to TSM, which caused him to go from 100 viewers on average to now a few thousand. He would continue to make content showcasing his skills and personality for the next year and a half. And in that time, he now started averaging 10,000+ viewers. But even though everything looked perfect on the outside, that was far from the truth. Not many people noticed, but when he was gaining an increase in viewership, the amount of hours he streamed would decrease drastically. Now, we never got a reason from Hamlinz himself why this was, but the most likely answer is he just started falling out of love with Fortnite and didn't feel as motivated to hop on and play. But it would be in August where he would take his first long break from streaming. During this time, there were a lot of theories going around on why he left, but it turned out that his grandmother had sadly gotten breast cancer and he was going through a lot at the time. However, in October, he would make his return again and announce that his grandma was now okay. But during this return, he was still not streaming that much. And this was made even worse when around the start of 2020, his grandfather would pass away, once again taking a big toll on his mental health. Because of this, he only ended up streaming 5 times in 2020. And with that, he would essentially leave streaming for good. Until September of 2021, almost 2 years after his last stream, he had returned, back with NRG in the Thume house. But like I just mentioned, this would end up failing. Now unlike Daequan, Hamlinz did start grinding the streams once again, but this only lasted for 2 months, and eventually he would have his last stream on his main Twitch channel on January 14th of 2022. Now I say his main channel because he actually had gone live on a secret Twitch account that he made called Small Man Big World, but he would only end up streaming Sea of Thieves 3 separate times in March of 2023. And since then, the only thing we've seen from him was a birthday tweet back in May. Nowadays, it's hard to say what he's been up to and if he'll ever return, but I guess only time will tell. Our final creator of this video is another fan favorite, and that's gotta be Ceeday. His story starts all the way back in 2016, when he would end up uploading his first video, which was actually on Destiny. After posting this first video, Ceeday was hooked and continued the grind to making YouTube videos. But none of them would perform super well, as all he was doing back then was just making highlight videos, showing off some cool kills, and putting background music over it. But after not seeing much growth in early 2017, he would try something different. He started adding funny moments, adding memes and sound effects along with them. And since nobody was doing anything like this on Destiny back then, he would start to slowly gain an audience. Because of this, only around a year after starting his channel, he had already gained 10,000 subscribers, which motivated him even more. And during this time, he would continue to increase his editing and thumbnail skills. So now we were at the very end of the year, and Ceeday managed to reach around 90,000 subscribers. But after hitting this milestone, his subscriber growth would start to slow down drastically. However, it was also around this time where he would upload a video on Fortnite Battle Royale. This video was actually titled When Destiny 2 Servers Are Down. The reason for him even making a Fortnite video in the first place was actually because he used to post every day. And obviously, since the Destiny servers were down, he needed something else to play and upload. Now this first Fortnite video ended up performing just as well as his Destiny ones. So because of this, something clicked for him, and he realized that he could take his editing skills and apply it to other games. It was also around now where Destiny was seeing a huge decline in player base and viewership, which was also a reason for his subscriber growth halting. A few days after uploading his first Fortnite video, he would make another one that would end up being his best performing video at the time. And I'm not going to try to attempt the title of this video. Now, even though this video did good, he would still continue to upload Destiny content until it was time for a change. After uploading both games for a few months, it got to the point where his Fortnite videos would do way better than his Destiny ones. So after noticing this, he would start to upload less and less of those videos, eventually leaving the game altogether. But this didn't matter, he was consistently pulling millions of views every Fortnite video. On top of that, he would reach 100,000 subscribers in March of 2018. But he was not ready for how quickly he was about to blow up. Just 1 month after hitting 100k, he doubled it, reaching 200,000 subscribers. And another 2 months later, he would hit 1 million. But it wouldn't stop there. He would eventually reach 3 million subs in no time, and was now averaging around 7+ million views every video. However, after reaching this crazy milestone, he would end up taking his first break. After a month of silence, Ceeday would return, explaining that he was gone for so long because he was moving houses. Now after returning, he would upload per usual. But I mentioned this break because it would later set a pattern of him leaving out of the blue, not telling his audience. However, during this time, he was cooking up an idea to get even more into the Fortnite mainstream. Ceeday would start creating fake beefs with other big creators in the scene, trying to get them to 1v1 him, and most notably being Tfue and Noah's Noah. However, he would never actually end up pulling through on those 1v1s. Because these videos did so good, Ceeday was now at over 6 million subscribers, uploading per usual, until one day, everything stopped. On February 24th of 2020, he would end up uploading a video titled Mythical Ceeday, and this would be his last post before going silent for almost 2 years. Nobody had known why Ceeday left until over 6 months later he would break that silence. On his Instagram story, he would go on to state that this upcoming video was going to be his last one, and after the Black Hole event, Epic had ruined Fortnite. He just wasn't liking the game anymore. But after this post, that video never came. It wouldn't be another 4 months later until we would hear from him again. He would end up doing a short live stream reacting to the Chapter 2 Season 4 live event, but nothing noteworthy was mentioned until the last few moments of the stream. He would go on to state why he hadn't been uploading so much. He said there were no games out right now that were fun enough for him to make content on. He would even go on to say that the uploads on his channel in the future weren't looking too good, pretty much saying he was done with YouTube. And after that, we wouldn't hear from him for over a year, until he uploaded his comeback video, Chapter 3 No Way Home. This was a typical video where he was playing the new Fortnite chapter, but again, he would disappear without a word for another 8 months. He would eventually upload possibly his last YouTube video ever, Ceeday vs Goku. And it's worth mentioning, in these videos, we got no new information on why he had pretty much quit. So now we were left wondering if he'll ever make a comeback, and things weren't looking good. Again, we wouldn't hear a thing from him until November of 2023, over a year since that last upload. This was because Fortnite had just dropped their OG season, going back to the Chapter 1 map and loot pool. Epic also sent out little care packages to OG creators with some of their greatest moments on there. And after a little bit of the season being out, he would post an unboxing of that package on Instagram. So after this, fans would get extremely hyped, expecting him to return. But since then, he actually went on to delete that post and currently has nothing up on his Instagram. On top of that, we're already in Chapter 5 now, so if he was going to upload a video on that OG season, he probably would have done it already. But my guess is he'll probably never return, and if he does end up uploading that OG video, it'll probably be his last one he ever makes. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. We're trying to hit 20k subs by the end of this year. I hope you all have an amazing rest of your days. Peace out.